Onett just released Bee Swarm Simulator's 4th update this year. But what if I told you that next week he'll be releasing its 5th? Yeah, that's right. Onett has confirmed that another huge update is going to be coming next week. So today I'm going to be explaining to you guys everything that's going to be included in that update, as well as when next week we should be expecting it, and how you yourself can prepare for it. So without any further ado, here we go. So starting off, oh my gosh, yeah, Bee Swarm Simulator's 5th update this year is going to be coming next week. Now, of course, I need to show you guys the proof on how I know all this, and I have a ton of Discord messages to show you guys from Onett today, but the very first big hint mainly comes from Sunbear's dialogue. So if you skip through after you complete the quests, you'll find this. I think I'll stick around a while. If you check back with me next week, I'll have more quests to put your golfing to the test. So this is first of all the big confirmation, of course, that there's gonna be an update next week. He literally says himself, come back next week, I'll have more stuff. Now, what actually is all of this gonna be? When it comes to the golfing, the quests, the rewards, new leaks, what is all of it gonna be? Well, we actually have some insight from Onett about all of this. The first message he sent says, I have intentions for the back end of the golf mechanic. This is like a test for it. These quests are specifically for the Roblox event. I didn't want to leak the mechanic in the test realm. Once things are tested by the event, I can expand on it. That's why Sunbear says he will have more to come. Everything Onett has released so far, the golfing, the hole and its mechanics, the moving fences, the green targets, the mud spots on the field, the point system, and the quests aren't the full update. They're not even a piece of it. They're literally just a test. This is just Onett testing everything that he wants to put into the game. It's essentially just a small preview of all of the amazing things that are yet to come. This could be a wide variety of things because Onett could be adding so much more. Heck, we already have the targets, the fences, and the mud, but Onett could add like little spinning things from like Stickbugs challenge that smack the golf ball. He could introduce like jumps or speed boosters to influence how fast the ball goes. He could introduce a new mechanic where different tools allow for different hit speeds. There's so much potential for what is going to be happening, but there's still a ton more news. Now, our next hint for everything actually is once again in the Sunbear dialogue, and it's in the very beginning, and I think it's something a lot of us overlook. He says, this mountain is world famous for the honey produced here, and now it'll be even more famous for its golfers. This hints to the fact that the golfing mechanic and update are going to be spreading to other parts of the game. Now, as of right now, they're specifically stuck in the starter zone because it's part of a Roblox event. Onett's not going to put the golfing mechanics behind the 35B zone because then that means all the new players for the Roblox event literally have to get 35 Bs just to get the stupid badge. Onett wouldn't do that to the community, hence why he put everything in the very starter zone. You don't even need 5 Bs to complete all of the quests. So while right now you can just do all of it in the starting area, this Sunbear dialogue hints to the fact that it's going to be spread all across the mountain. It could be spread to pumpkin or cactus field or pineapple or stump, or possibly even mountaintop, which I think would be a little goofy to see. Imagine just whacking the golf ball and instead of going in the hole, it just flies off the mountain into the infinite abyss down there. Yeah, now sadly the fields have boundaries, so it can't do that, but there's still so much potential for a lot of cool courses Onett could add if he spreads it past the mountain. Onett even says this in a message himself. He says, these quests are easy because they need to be completed by new players. I need to release these 3 quests specifically for Roblox's event. I have more advanced quests planned for the mechanic in the future. Now, what exactly does advanced mean? Because if you think about it, you can only get so advanced when it comes to golfing. I mean, after about 10 minutes of being in the game, most of you guys should have already just mastered the golfing mechanic because it really is so simple. It's as simple as aim, power, fire, bada bing, bada boom, that's a hole in one. But what else could Onett add to make these things tougher? Well, he could add point requirements, like possibly score 20 points in one singular golf run. Because if you didn't know, every single time you go golfing, you're rewarded with some special points, which we don't actually know what those things do yet. And we'll get to that in just a second. Just kidding, I'm not going to make you guys wait. We'll get to it right now. There might even be a point leaderboard, actually. Because, I mean, Onett added the points already into the game, meaning that he's probably counting how many we get. There's no way for us to actually see how many points we have. I would assume by now I have at least like 300 or 400. But I'm assuming all the points we've already collected are going to come into play next week when the update releases. Like I said, there could be a new leaderboard and we could probably get some new stuff. Like maybe a brand new golfing sticker could be added, or a golf ball sticker. Maybe a cool new limited time collector or something like that. Because if you didn't know, Sunbear's quests always give limited stuff. In previous years, they were able to give you stuff like tools and backpacks. Now, very quickly, another interesting thing with all of this is the first time, of course, that we've seen Sunbear in literal years. I mean, the last time I saw Sunbear, I wasn't even tall enough to see the top of a yardstick. So while one, it does mean that Onett hasn't forgotten about Sunbear, it means he might not have forgotten about about a lot of other things too. I'm mainly just excited because this means that Sunbear might also be returning for future updates. I don't want to say just for sure this is the last time Sunbear is coming back because Onett said that before, and then looky here, Sunbear is suddenly back with a brand new golfing update. Onett has a habit of sometimes going against his own word, which is, you know, a good thing and a bad thing, especially when he said Beesmas was going to come 6 months ago. But it's interesting to see that Sunbear is still in the game and in the forefront of Onett's mind, meaning that we could be getting future updates past this one next week, where Sunbear will be returning, possibly rewarding, you know, the brand new endgame backpacks that Onett might possibly release. Of course, those aren't guaranteed to release. Onett said he might not, but it is just a cool theory that Sunbear might return just to give us those exclusive items. Now, I keep saying this update is going to be releasing next week. When exactly is next week? Are we talking like in 3 days next week, or are we talking like in 10 days next week? That's a very big difference, and Onett hasn't completely confirmed when this is going to be, but we can make a very educated guess, specifically using hints from the event itself. Now, the event Beeswarm Simulator is competing in is the games event, and if you didn't notice, it ends in 8 days, meaning that it ends not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, which is a day after next week. Now, I would assume Onett doesn't want to add this whole update right now, and it makes sense. He wants to let the new players come in, get the badges for the event, and then leave. He doesn't want to make it confusing. But once this event ends, that's when Onett wants to start implementing his own stuff. His advanced quests he talked about, newer mechanics, brand new rewards, stuff like that, meaning it's probably going to come after the event ends, aka in 8 days. Now, 8 days is actually next Saturday, meaning that the event will probably be releasing later next week, or possibly even later than that. Because if you actually check the Sunbear dialogue once again, I know Onett literally hid so many Easter eggs in here, he says, "I think I'll stick around for a while," which might be on its way of giving himself just a little bit of wiggle room to release the update later if needed. Because we all know, because of past experience and literally Beesmas itself, Onett doesn't always stay completely true to his word, which is okay, but it just lets us know how much we should actually be believing and how realistic we should be thinking about this update's release. So my personal opinion, the update is going to be releasing in about a week and a half from now, probably around August 12th or something like that. Now, what does this mean for you when it comes to prep? Well, first of all, it means just practice, practice, practice. Get your golfing skills in, really begin to learn the mechanics, so that way you can complete the quest faster when they actually release next week. There's actually an entire system for how the points work, which I'll be explaining in a future video, probably on my second channel. But once again, there's going to be so many cool quests and rewards that get released. Onett hasn't even leaked anything yet, but there's already so much hype. But of course, now that the update's out, Onett can start leaking stuff in the test ROM. We're going to get special test ROM access, that includes me. So the second Onett releases the new stuff into the test ROM, I'll be making a video on it for you guys explaining everything, and I'll also be live streaming later today giving out YouTube stickers. So if either of those things sounds interesting to you guys, you don't even have to subscribe, just hit the bells, it's way more effective, and you'll be notified as soon as I post either of those things or go live giving out YouTube stickers. Thank you all so much for watching. All you bee swarmers, have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and I will see you all in the next update.